Okay, we are back with our live coverage of the Orion Ascent conference in beautiful and sunny and snow-free, for those of us coming from the Northeast, San Diego. Closing us out for today, we have a repeat guest, Craig Iskowitz, who is the CEO of the Ezra Group. Craig, thanks for joining me again.
It is a pleasure to be here in sunny San Diego.
Absolutely. Where's home for you?
New Jersey. Snowy,
so you have a lot of
cold, wet,
Indeed.
wintry New Jersey. So
yeah.
Happy to be here.
I told my wife as soon as I saw the forecast, I'm headed to Orion.
I've been out doing my West Coast swing for the last week and a half, so
you
I missed the whole thing.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I also missed your panel today, but I heard it was fantastic. It was talking about, shockingly, AI, but I like the angle that you guys had, like real use cases, beyond the buzz, I think you guys called it.
That's right.
So tell us, what is beyond the buzz for AI?
It was a great panel because we had real advisory firms talking about real use cases that they have delivered benefits to their advisors and clients using not the most complicated AI tools, just the things off the shelf you can get through any of the standard AI LLMs.
Yeah.
And one of them was a daily brief where she shared the entire prompt, which was way longer than people expected, that built a daily brief that would go through not just news sources, but Reddit and other sources, other crowdsourced environments where they could bring in data to show, well, what are our clients talking about? What's moving the market beyond just the news cycle? And she's built this entire prompt, which she shared with the audience, to build this daily brief that she was normally doing, would take her an hour in the morning to pull all the different sources in. Now it does it automatically. And also, she built her own custom podcast. Right? So, like just taking
her own custom what?
Podcast.
Right.
So you just feed that back into Gemini and say, now make it into an audio. And it creates a podcast of two people talking about your topic.
That's an interesting use case.
Yeah,
it really is.
If you have a long commute, if you have a long commute, why not do it that way? You can't sit there and read it in the car. Have it read to you.
That is very clever. I have to say, that's a really neat idea.
Use case, and you can use it for anything, any report, any news article. Have it just turn that into a podcast for you.
Very interesting, actually, truly. So, was she using ChatGPT, or what was? I'm just curious.
It was either. Of course, everyone's using the big three. They're using Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini.
Okay, so
most likely, most of one of those three. They all do very similar things. We find we put our data into all of them and see which one's doing the best. So it's a constant battle. ChatGPT was the best for a while, then Claude leapfrogged them, then vice versa, then Gemini does things better. There's a lot of use cases that they were talking about where certain AIs have better results than others in different use cases. Everyone knows Claude appears to be better for coding, but most advisors aren't coding anything.
No.
But they might be building reports, might be building presentations. There's a lot of tools that do that. I saw one of the vendors here is a note taker that can then do meeting prep and turn your meeting prep into a PowerPoint deck automatically.
And then turn that into a podcast.
You could if you like.
I suppose.
Boom. That's all you have to do.
Very cool. All right, that's a legitimately interesting and useful use case, really. What else? Give us some more.
Another use case was using AI to build tools that will pull data out of your portfolio management system to do attribution.
Okay.
So if you can help your clients understand where their returns are coming from, the AI can build that in a report, in a PowerPoint presentation, in a podcast, in any way you want. And what this advisor was saying was his team, they have 30 or 40 advisors, and one of the advisors unfortunately got sick, wasn't available to talk to his clients for about 6 weeks. They used this attribution tool to explain to all their clients, here's where your returns are coming from, here's what we're doing for you. So it gave their clients, what he said, a measure of peace that things are being taken care of.
Yeah. I tell you what, this is kind of becoming a recurring theme now, where AI is making it better for advisors to be more human, right? So it's allowing you to engage better, but farming out sort of the minutia, like going through all the Reddits and going through all the portfolio holdings. Is that resonate from what you heard today on today's panel?
Well, I said one of the points I made was AI will not replace advisors, but it will replace those that aren't using it. Right, if you're not using AI, you're going to be replaced, not by AI, but by advisors who are using AI.
All right, that's an interesting take, yeah.
More and more clients in all the surveys we're seeing want their advisors as a trusted source to front end the AI tools. They're all using it. All of your clients are using AI, right? So better that you get in front of that and say, hey, I can do it for you.
Right.
Don't let it hallucinate. I'm the trusted source here. I can do exactly what they're doing, but I'll make sure you're getting the right information and not something fake.
Yeah. I was going to bring up the hallucination part, right? Because how would the client who doesn't understand the industry to the level as we do as advisors, how can they tell when there's hallucination? But also relating it to them. You know, that real personal experience that you've had, unless you could somehow download every single anecdote that you recall from that client. But I get a lot of use out of analogies and relating market events, planning events to our clients' lives that I know. So when somebody can get their entire life into AI,
Which
that's
will
still
happen.
a good use case.
It's going to happen soon enough, right?
How would that happen?
Easily. Remember,
Yeah.
you're putting, well, it depends how active you are online. If you're not active online, then it's going to be more difficult.
Okay.
But if you post on Facebook, you post on Twitter, you post on LinkedIn, you post on Instagram, all that's publicly available. Anybody can scrape that and find out what you said about sports teams, what you said about the president, what you said about the economy. You know, were you worried during 2008? Right? I think that's really going to change. I wrote an article, 7-8 years ago, that I think we were calling it big data back then. Right? That big data was going to replace risk tolerance. Because if you think about it, no matter how well you craft the questions, humans are humans. And we live and breathe this all. We understand risk tolerance, risk aversion, risk assessment. The average doctor, lawyer, business owner doesn't.
Yeah.
So no matter how well you craft the questions, you're really not going to get their true feelings about how well they can tolerate risk, but how they interact on social media. What do they do with their own accounts? What do they do with their talking to their children, to their friends? How do they react to those things?
Yeah.
It's a way better indicator of how they really feel than how they answer a question for 10 minutes in your office.
Very cool. So as we're coming up on time here, do you have one more from today's panel that you could share?
The one more they said was you need to talk to AI like a baby. Right? You need to not like an adult. You need to really think, I need to cover all my bases and think about everything that could possibly go wrong, because it's going to. So you need to think about it as a toddler or as a small child. How would you tell them? You'd say exactly what to do, step by step, and not leave anything out, and that's going to get much better results.
Okay, so talk to AI like it's a baby.
There you go.
We're going to end it right
Simple.
there. Craig, thanks very much for joining me.
Thank you, Rob.
Okay, so that's going to wrap up day 1 of 2 days. I'll be back tomorrow morning with some more content live from the Orion Ascent in San Diego. Thanks for joining us. Okay, that's fantastic. Yeah.